Boys and girls, how you doing tonight? Sunday evening from the beautiful Viking Arena in Hazel Park. Tommy Morris here for DCTV for the USA Men's 35 action between the Blackhawks and the Canadians. And joining me on color commentary is, you know him better as Bruno, you know him better as Mr. Hockey, you know him from around town. Bruno, what's going on today? How you doing?
Hanging in there, bro. You know, all we got to do is just wake up day by day and continue what we're doing.
And coming off a couple surgeries over the past 6-7 months, you've been skating recently. How you been feeling? And when's the timetable to return?
You're lucky. I'll be out on the ice tonight, and I've been skating 2 weeks now, and I feel like I'm ready to go with these young kids.
Speaking of young kids out here, Mickey Moore at the face-off and Craig DiPatolo or Jeff Kazmarek, for the Canadians. What do you see out of this game tonight? Who's to watch for out here, and what about the goaltending?
Well, I don't know. Is that Scotty in the net over there?
That's Frenchie.
Frenchie? All right, well, you know, he's a big dude, so you got less to shoot at. And the other side there, you got a little more to shoot at. So I think what's going to happen is I think the Blackhawks, who I sponsor, and I think they're going to take it.
There's Mickey Moore coming up for a line, a little deep coming in, Smith. Oh, and that one just hit off the side of the net. Looked like it was in for a minute in the corner. The Canadians gained control and get it outside to center ice. That was a close one there. Early moments of the first period here. Tommy Morris, Detroit City TV. Again, the game of the week here between the Canadians in red and the Blackhawks in white. So with the sponsoring of the teams, how's that been, kind of the layoff? How's it been for you overall?
Well, it's been good. I've had a few problems with my artificial hip and my knee, but, you know, I just bounce back like a rubber ball.
Speaking of rubber ball, Schneeman keeps it in on the far boards here, and the Wizard Nielsen will start out for the Blackhawks. And it hits in front, bounces, and it's looking around out front again, and that one's shot just wide. And Shelton had a glorious opportunity for the Canadians. Another errant pass by Wall that bounces out over to center. And once for the Canadians, or might stand for the Canadians, will clear. That was a close call right off the bat. Into the corner race there to Wizard and Shelton. Shelton wins it, shovels in. Ross out front to Wall. Wall is shot and he scores! Kind of a bingo-bango play. Looks slow to develop. Ross slams it out to, or is that Don King? King, Ross. Put it out on the stick of Dave Wall, and you can't give that guy any chances out in front of the net there, Bruno.
Well, that's for sure. Big Dave, he's been around the league a long time, and I think he played for Ohio State. But, you know, he got into our league here, and I just got to shadow him, make sure he doesn't score.
Well, there you go. You got to shadow him like a blanket, like a shadow.
All right, I got to go get this.
All right, Bruno, thanks for the, best wishes to you and see you around. Bruno's Dive Shop, 15 Mile and Gratiot. Get your skates, your draft, all your hockey paraphernalia there, right there at Bruno's. And while you're at it, you take some scuba lessons there at Bruno's Dive Shop, hockey shop in Clinton Township. Back to the action here. 1-0 early moment. Put in behind the net. Canadians first one to the puck, kept in by Tom Gallant. Gallant back into the goal scorer. Wall turns around, fires it. That hits a leg. Wall battling. Loses it. Nice pass. Almost had it up the middle. Claremont just called up. Racing down the right wing, gets pinched off there, and it comes over to the Wizard. Wilson gets poke check. Out front. And Claremont fires that wide. Kazmarek from a bad angle, slapped at it, nobody's there. Wizard just lifts it out, misses Barker, and it comes out to the neutral zone. 7:25 to go in the first period here. The Canadians in red, a couple call-ups. Frenchie will handle that easily. Slinging around the boards. Claremont, one of the call-ups for this Canadians team, who had a couple issues earlier, and Mickey Moore just put himself offsides, lost track of that blue line, and Moore on the offsides. And the Canadians, who have been reeling from the loss of their superstar Polish national goal scorer Robert Bob Shawerska, who caught on immigration charges, tried coming back to the United States. The Canadians handed him his release and picked up number 91, the speedster, Jeff Kaczmarek, who you'll be seeing a little bit already, and have you seen already a little bit coming up in this game. Right to the slot. Here's Shelton with a shot. That one off of Frenchie. And that's chipped out. And that'll go for an icing. I'll be right back. 6:37 to go. Blackhawks 1, Canadians nothing. Face off to the left of Scott French, the veteran netminder from Kamloops. Member of the, got kicked out of the Tragically Hip when he was about 14 years old, and then turned to goaltending. Icy waved off, and behind the net, spanned on by Dome and Clay Barker out to Mickey. Mickey out front, a scramble. The puck jumps to the corner. DiPattolo tried clearing it behind his net for the Canadians, kept by Moore to the line to Nardoni. Nardoni back in, tried doing a give and go. Went off a Nardoni stick, and there's a race for the puck. Sheldon Nardoni. Nardoni will get there first. He's poke checked. They go battling in behind French. French out of the net. Shelton out front. Still there. And French will jump on it for the faceoff. Early moments of the first period. Canadians at first. Blackhawks won their first game last week, off to a slow start. But off to a fast start in this game, 1-0 on a goal by Dave Wall. They clear it into the zone. Mike Stan will reverse the field off the boards there. Gallant just barely keeps it in. Little scramble in front, and Jim Claremont, the sub, will get the puck, bounce it off the boards. He's kept in at the line. Gallant keeps it in, throws it back in, and Stan for the Canadians to go chase it. Mike Stan. Around on the side to Shelton, up to Claremont. Claremont pinches the puck. He's in a foot race with Webster. Claremont tries a little backhand. That there's nothing going on as Webster pinches him off to the boards. Race to the corner there, and the Wizard comes up with it. Oh, there's a trip right at the line there. Wall kept the streaking Mike Stan, and he'll go to the box. 2 minutes for tripping. And we'll be right back on the DCTV Sports Network. And welcome back. Face off just inside the Blackhawks blue line is Dave Wall. 2 minutes for a trip, and that's cuffed in at the line. Mickey Moore off to the races. Moore, and a play by Jay Lutz, and he just gets there to stop a shorthanded scoring chance. Gallant will just chip it out. Back to Lutz. Lutz, a little flip pass. Gets a little too far, and Gallant will fire it all the way down the ice, and the Canadians will have to go back. A minute and a half left in this power play. 1-0 the Blackhawks. Lutz starts off with a puck away too far, and Moore with it. Moore looking around. And that's back checked by Jeff Kaczmarek, and he's on the fly. And Kaczmarek, you gotta watch the speedster. Here he comes, a little check there, and poke checked by John Webster to Moore, and Moore will come out, killing some valuable time. They'll throw it on the wing to Gallant, and Gallant will just flip it in. Blackhawks get a change. In deep. Lutz again. Minute to go on the power play. Hasn't been much of a power play. He throws it over to far side here. Canadians having trouble getting any type of cohesion going, and Nardoni for the Canadians right back with it. Nardoni wasting some more seconds, looking around. He throws it out to the Wizard. The Wizard looking for it. The Wizard up through center. He hits D. Ross with it. He fanned on the shot. It goes in behind the net. And Ian Morgan slaps it up to Craig D. D looking around. He throws it on the far side here. Canadians having trouble breaking out of their zone. Up through center. No hits off Shelton's stick. They cleared right back in. One last rush for the Canadians on this power play. And that'll do it. Nardoni will slam it back in, less than 5 seconds to go in the power play, and Blackhawks kill that off nicely. First period action here from Viking Ice Arena. Hits off a couple bodies there. Yeah, the Canadians not getting anything going, just passes, and back over to DiBartolo. Tries a little how do you do move. He didn't see Morgan streaking out in center. Barker on the sideboards, pitched in. A battle there on the boards. Mickey pokes it right to Shelton. Shelton right in front. DiBartolo could not get a shot on that, and it bounces back out to Bill Doman. Doman for the Canadians. 2:20 to go in the first period. Doman up through center. Morgan does a little stutter step, broken up by Barker. Barker hits a leg, bounces to him. Jim Pappas will just clear it in. Wide of the net. Doman for the Canadians starts over. Doman off the boards, over to Pappy. Pappy looking. Pappy. And that's blocked by Schneemann, the defenseman, the veteran defenseman. With the block from that, and here comes Jeff Kaczmarek down the right side. Kaczmarek looking at Kaczmarek's shot, and he whistles that wide. Moore with it. Everyone peels off, but Moore is looking down the boards here. That's poke check. Play comes out towards center. Pappas keeps it in, a little battle there. Claremont will slap it out. And the Blackhawks content to play a little ping pong action here. Schneemann up through center, over to Kaczmarek. Kaczmarek looking around. Kaczmarek slowly over the line, looking around, over to Claremont. He gets his stick lifted to the line, but not out. And Doman, well, they called that off. They're back right in front. Frenchie had to be quick with that backhand save off of Kaczmarek's stick. And here comes a break. 2-on-1. There's Dave Wall over to Scott, and the Wizard fires it. Looked like an Ovechkin shot. Still kept in along the sideboards. Poked out. J.W. Webster. Over to the Wizard. Milan flips that out. Right back in. Tom Gallant again. Tries a little pass, and both teams are just looking to give each other the puck. Barker looking around. Barker slides it in front, and that one goes through the crease and out the other side. Johnny Shelton with 10 seconds to go. Hits Ian Morgan coming right down. Morgan gets tripped up a little bit, slides it out front. Now Doty clears the front of the net. The Wall will backhand it down the ice, and that should kill the first period as it comes to an end. And that'll be it. End of the first period. The score: the Blackhawks won. The Canadians nothing. Second period action. We welcome you back to beautiful Hazel Park Viking Ice Arena. Tommy Morris here with the play-by-play action. Second period, and the first period's a whole heck of a lot of nothing. Dave Wall scores an early goal for the Blackhawks, and both teams look a little bit discombobulated, like they've had too many beers during the Lions' loss to the Steelers today. Out front, broken up by Moore. He chips it forward, but nothing going on there. See if the Canadians can get something going with their two speedsters. We got Shelton, we got Kaczmarek on there. Jeff with the puck now, right out front through his screen. Frenchie knocks it off to the side. Up front, Kaczmarek shot, and another stop by French. A rebound, and another shot by French. They cannot clear the puck. Back in front again. To the point, another shot. It hits a leg, and the Canadians with a flurry of shots. Bubba Wilson for the Canadians again might stand. It's deflected. It comes right out front. There's Clay Barker. And Barker again with the shot. Wrap around. He scores over to Jim Pappas, who buries it in the open net. And I don't know what happened on that play, but Jim Pappas ends up cleaning up. A big forecheck that started that play out by might trouble Wilson. Bounced off a couple legs. Barker had a chance. Does a wrap around to Pappas. Pappas puts in the empty net, and the Blackhawks take a 2-0 lead over the first-place Canadians. Canadians are looking a little rough here. Having a little bit of trouble. Shoveled over, nobody there. Wall back to the point. Webster puts it in wide to the netminder Smith. Wizard, a nice play to keep it in at the line. Went by the line. He takes 2 swipes and keeps it in. Ross looking. Ross having trouble with the puck. Comes out front. Broken up. Dolman will clear it. Ian Morgan over the line. Morgan tried a little drop pass. It's broken up. It comes on the far side to Claremont. Claremont around the net. Claremont still looking. He's got poke checked, and here comes Dave Wall for the Blackhawks. Wall, the first goal scorer here. He's got Schneemann. He goes around Schneemann. He puts a shot high, and Smith had to be careful as it bounces up to the corner. And Wizard Nielsen with it. Back into Wall. Wall looking around. Tried shoveling out in front, and Smith tipped that out and hit a body and bounces out to center ice. Where's the line? John Webster looking around. Webster pulls up. Webster feeds it back to the point. There's a shot. Hits a leg. Bounces right back to Webster. Webster does a little twirl inside the line. Shovels it in deep. Wall badly in the corner for it. That's out front. Hits the side of the net. Wall to the Wizard. He just tries chopping and hits another leg. And Claremont will break out with it. Claremont couldn't get far. That's slapped in by Nielsen. And whoa, that was almost intercepted. Shelton moving around now. Gallant plays it up to Barker. Barker gets stripped by Shelton. Tapped to Kazmarek. He'll just tap it over the line. Kazmarek straddled on the line, waiting for his lineman to get there. Kazmarek, he sees Shelton right there, and he just misses him with that leading pass. Shelton in the corner. Can't get around Barker. Slap to the line, but not out. Dolman with it. Dolman shovels it around. Comes to Shelton. Shelton piles behind the net. Shelton looking around, asking someone to move for him. No one's moving. Kazmarek stands there, tries shoveling out front, and that just barely pokes out and Stan, or Lutz for the Canadians, has to corral that. He just simply throws it back in behind the net. That is Stan that cleared it at number 23. Lead pass, little behind Pappas, the goal scorer. Wave the icing off. Kazmarek chips it to Shelton. Kazmarek. They got a 3-on-2. Kazmarek over to Shelton. Back over to Kazmarek. A little one too many passes. Still kept in. Intercepted though. Finally by Wilson. Wilson looks. Hits Pappas. Pappas a nice little tip to himself. Look near the zone to go for a change. 5:50 in the second period. 2-0 Hawks. Shelton gets pitch right up center. Didn't see Wilson stay there. Comes to Kazmarek. Kazmarek over the line. Kazmarek looking around. Kazmarek swinging in behind the net. Kazmarek tries dumping it out front. Comes right to the back. DiPattolo with a shot that hits off a leg and goes wide. Nardoni corrals it for the Canucks, or for the Blackhawks. It finally chipped out and down the ice for an icing. And we'll be right back here. 2-0 Canadians lose it to the Blackhawks. Back to the action, and Blackhawks win the draw. Nardoni he flips it over to Nielsen. Nielsen a cross pass to Ross. Ross looking around. He pulls up on his backhand. Gets a couple bodies. It comes to Schneemann. Schneemann will slap it to the line. Nardoni with a shot hits a body and goes wide. Lost the puck there for a moment. DiPattolo pulls up everybody, and they'll just start slowly over. Gets the puck. Racing for it against Nardoni. Poke check gets through. Fires a shot that hits the side of the net. Comes to Wall, and Wall will bang it out. Dolman to Schneemann. Gets past Paul Schneemann. Whoa, Schneemann's pass almost intercepted it. Back to Dolman. Dolman. He gets poke checked by Nielsen. The Wizard bounces Dolman off. They're shoving, pushing, and a couple other punches back there. Refs let that go as the puck bounces off to the blue line. Back in. Bill Dolman for the Canadians. Looking around, Dolman. He fans on that pass. It's kept in. Barker over to Moore. Moore looking around. Moore can't get loose. Schneemann leaves his feet. Pokes check it back to Moore. Moore looking over to Barker a little too far. Barker in the corner. He'll shovel it out front. It hits a couple legs. Bounces through a crowd of people back to the point. There's a shot. Another hits somebody else. The Canadians gain control and can't get anything going there as it just bounces off a couple skates again. And Webster will clear it over to Pappy. Pappas, almost hits Schneemann in the face there off a high stick, waved off. Barker to Moore. I don't know what to Webster, and Webster, I don't know what he was actually looking at there, but didn't get a good shot. And Morgan coming up over the line. Morgan over to Shelton. Shelton looking around, and Frenchie with a stop there. 3:10 to go in the period, 2-0. That one just flipped aimlessly over to Lutz at the point. Lutz looking around. That doesn't get through to anybody. Barker tipped it, but goes right to Shelton. You don't want him with the puck. A shot there, and that one just missed. Shelton Kazmarek now on the same line here as Coach Schneemann trying to get some power out there. Barker looking around. Schneemann. He's going to Barker still with the puck, pulls up. Play throws it back to his wing, nobody there, and the speeds for Kazmarek will make a move around Nielsen. Here's Kazmarek. Kazmarek looking. Kazmarek so spitting, he shoots right on Frenchie, nothing there. The rebound cleared harmlessly and all the way down the ice. And a face-off all the way down in the Canadian zone. Not getting anything going. The Canadians are trying everything they can. They just cannot penetrate the defense. And this guy right here, Scott French. What can you say about Scott French? Well, that's my point. So the face-off to the left of the netminder. 2 minutes, 2:23 to go here in the first period, in the second period. Shots a lowly 10-5 in favor of the Blackhawks. And 2-0 on the scoreboard. Shelton in the corner. Shelton a little, how do you do it around Bubba Wilson? Still has control of the puck as it bounces off a couple bodies. Shelton trying to do something. Puck's banging around in there like a pinball. Wall bounces over his stick, comes to the point. Shot wide of the Blackhawk netminder. Shelton again with the Canadians buzzing. Kazmarek can't find the handle on that. Comes to Claremont. Claremont just throws it out in front aimlessly. And Nielsen throws it around the wall. Wall will chip it, but it hits another body right to Kazmarek. Jeff Kazmarek looking in front of Shelton. He can't get it a shot away. Puck's laying there. And Claremont grabs it. Out front again, and another stop there by French as he robs Kazmarek on that. Finally, Nardoni will take the puck for the Blackhawks and throw it all the way down for the icing. 1 minute, 13 seconds to go here in the second period. Hey, can you walk up here?
Huh?
Can you walk up here?
Yeah.
Come on up this way, real quick.
What?
Come on up this way, real quick.
I gotta get some shit going.
I gotcha. And I'm joined here by the Sharks general manager and player general manager coach Mike Johnson. How you doing?
Doing good, Tom.
Yeah. What's the consensus?
It's good to be here out in the rink. Been laid up a little bit and good to be back.
And you've been, with the injury bug in the last season and a half now. You had, some lower body issues, some upper body issues, just some issues all around. How you feeling? What's your timetable for coming back? I mean, the rumor was you had a visit last week to the hospital.
Yeah, I was back in the hospital. Some stuff that they couldn't quite figure out what was wrong with me. My heart was okay, my upper body, and I'm scheduled to come back, in my mind, in January.
Well, I'll tell you, it's good to hear from you. I know you got stuff going on, and good to see you, and
okay, Tom.
talk to you in a little bit.
Thanks, Tom. Thanks for
Mike
having
Johnson, the coach, general manager longtime board member here for the USA Men's 35 Hockey League. And a cluster there, the Blackhawks buzzing all around. Can't put the puck in, and finally a delayed penalty. And that'll be Paul Schneemann. Schneemann going to the box. Most likely a roughing, a high stick, something. Big chance for the Blackhawks to really blow this game open here. Face off the wall. Bounces off his pad, and here's Kazmarek. He's 1-on-2. Kazmarek a little spin-a-rama. He tried dumping it to Shelton. Still has it. Tried to get it out in front of Shelton. Kept in at the line. Bounces off a couple bodies. Kazmarek. Back to Doman. Doman will throw it into the opposite corner, and Webster will corral that for the Blackhawks. As the end of the period comes to an end there. 12-6, the shots are in favor of the losing team. That is I don't know how accurate that is, but 2-0 at the end of the second period for the Blackhawks. A game that the Blackhawks seriously needs, and that the Canadians need to stay in first place, as there's a couple teams battling under them tonight. And we'll be right back from the lovely Hazel Park Viking Ice Arena. Right after this message. And the Canadians got to get something going. They got the speedster Kazmarek, who was called up for Bob Shawursba's spot, and John Shelton, one of the scoring leaders in the league, tricky with the puck, good solid player, and they got to look to those two to start. Nardoni in behind the play takes a fall. Kazmarek comes in, throws it out front, and that one's just wide. Back the other way. Power play for the Blackhawks. Nielsen over the line. Nielsen will fire it on Smith, but it didn't get to him. It's dumped in front, comes back to the line. Bubba Wilson stops it. Wilson looking around from a bad angle. And Smith will glove that easily and create a face-off. Face off to the left of the netminder Smith. Your right. Both lines stepped on. Blackhawks spin the draw. Webster will dump it to the corner. Kazmarek will dump it on the open side, and it comes to Tom Gallant. Gallant throws it out in front, hits a couple bodies. Nobody there to retrieve it. Shelton gets by with a chip. Shelton gets around one man. Shelton, and a couple guys get taken out there. Looks like Ross and Kazmarek hit. Shelton looking around. Thought maybe there should have been something there. Maybe he thought there was a knee or something. Back to the line. Back in and back in. The Wall. Wall dumps it in on the open boards, and Mike Stan for the Canadians will turn with it. No one's on him, so he'll just go forward with it. Stan with a shot. That one's wide. Bounces around the boards. Lutz dumps it back in behind the Blackhawks zone, and Gallant fans on it there. Out front, a shot, it hits a body, and the Blackhawks spin and go up through center, Mickey Moore. Moore up through the line, Moore with the puck, Moore coming right in, he dumps it over to Barker. Barker with a shot, and a nice stop by Smith, and he'll hold on to it, no rebound. 8:08 in the third period, 2-0 Blackhawks. Shots 12-8, favor of the Canadians. They find themselves down, and really nothing has been going on here too much. Up front, and that one, Pappas just missed that as it went through the goal mouth in Claremont. Claremont dumps it up through center. It's chipped in and a race for it again. Blackhawks will be the first one there. Around the boards to Barker. Barker still with the puck. Then they'll dump it back in, and the Blackhawks will start over. Mike Bubba Wilson with the puck. Oh, that hits a stick. Craig D with the puck. Comes up back up to the line. Shovels it across. Gets it over to Dolman. Dolman, a tip from Claremont, who was in too far. Still kept out, right centered in front. Went through DiBartolo's legs and up through center. Blackhawks get a change as Dolman starts off the Canadians. Back to Schneemann. Schneemann with the puck. He throws it up through center. Nobody there. Bounces right back. And here comes Craig Nielsen. The Wizard with his shot. Up high. He just misses that one. Bounces off the glass. His famous shot off the glass. He comes around out front and a shot there, but it hits off a leg. Bounces to the point. Back over to Nardoni. Nardoni on the far boards. Nardoni shovels him back in behind the net to Wizard Nielsen. Nielsen with the puck looking around. He pulls it in front. That one hits off a couple bodies. Wall with a shot. A rebound. All kinds of traffic in the front. I don't even know how that puck got through. Schneemann shoveling it around the corner again, but nobody there but Nielsen. Nielsen sets up to Wilson. Wilson with the puck back into Nielsen in the corner. Nielsen looking. Nielsen finds Nardoni. Bounces. He stops it though. Nardoni with a shot. And that one's off everybody wide. And here's Jim Claremont, who cannot clear it. Finally, it hits the stick and bounces up for a face-off. 6:27 to go. Blackhawks 2. Canadians 0. It's a lot of ping pong hockey going on here. A lot of skating around, it looks like, today. There's a backhand pass that kept in at the line. Pappy, a little stutter step, but taken away by Kazmarek, who will start over to Shelton. Shelton over to Kazmarek. Kazmarek all by himself. Throws a right shot there off the side of the net harmlessly, and Mickey Moore will grab the rebound. Shovels it over to Barker. Barker around. Oh, and he gets dumped, and there's a penalty right there. They're saying a couple words there. Clay Barker, I heard you son of a bitch, and Mike Stan claiming it was purely accidental, and Barker was coming off hip surgery, knee surgery, and an attitude adjustment back in the lineup, and you don't get any sympathy when you start setting up goals. Face-off won by the Blackhawks, but Shelton's the first one there. He beats Webster coming down on the wing. Shelton looking around. Shelton throws it deep to Kazmarek. Kazmarek coming right in a shot, and Frenchie's there to make that stop. Blackhawks on their third or fourth power play today. Dumped straight in, along back in behind the Canadians net. A race there, Barker and Lutz. Lutz will clear it, goes over to Shelton. Shelton again to Kazmarek, and the Blackhawks will just sit back and play goalie with French. Kazmarek a little spinorama from an impossible angle. Nothing going on there as French easily holds on to it. Kazmarek still looking. Drops it a little too far for Shelton, and almost a breakaway there. Backhanded back in, and here's Craig Nielsen. Will shovel it to himself on the far boards. Nielsen with the puck. Nielsen tried putting it on the net, hit a Canadian at the line. They'll turn around and fire it down the ice. 55 seconds to go here in the power play as Nardoni comes out behind his net. Nardoni up through center, up to Nielsen. Nielsen a little move at the line. Nielsen walks right in. Nielsen coming right in. A shot! Smith rebounded, another save. And that was huge. Big stop there. Goaltender Mike Smith on loan from the Phoenix Coyotes. As the Canadians shuffling lines and people for a draft class this year that was questionable from Coach Schneemann, as he already lost his top scorer to immigration problems. tell that's hurting them. 2-0. Blackhawks as Nardoni leads the rush. 25 seconds go in the power play. Hits the body up top, and the whistle played is whistle down as the puck went up into the crowd. We invite you to join the DCTV Men's 35 Facebook page, and also you can find all the links on the page on DetroitCity.tv, how to get there, and the sponsors for this league. And if you do want to sponsor or advertise, very simply hit the Contact Us page, and someone will be able to tell you how to do that. Lift it out and down the ice, and that'll kill the time for the penalty. So, power play goes to waste for the Blackhawks as they are in command 2-0 here. A little over 3.5 minutes to go, and Nilsson will pick it up, and he'll fire it, and that's up high on Smith. Puck bounces to the corner, comes out front. Shipped over to Shelton. Here comes Johnny Shelton with the puck. He corrals it off the board. Shelton looking around. Shelton by himself. Shelton in behind the net. Shelton still looking. Still pinched off there by 2-3 Blackhawks. He still has the puck. He's still trying to come behind the net. They are not letting him go. 3 Blackhawks on that, on Shelton. And he's just everywhere for the Canadians, but no help, and that's what happens. Comes to Schneemann. Schneemann will lift it. Claremont stops skating at the line. It goes into the corner, and he'll race more for the puck. Ricky Moore will flip it to Webster. He flips it up to the center, gives it to Barker. Barker looking around. Barker still looking. Barker tried to go on the backhand. He gets poked up by the wrong person there, and we got a 2-on-2. We got Kaczmarek and Shelton. Kaczmarek fires it wide, gets his own rebound, doubles out in front to Claremont, nobody there, and the Blackhawks gain control. Pappas poke checked. He's a little slow getting it out, and Nardoni will flip it to the line, but not out. Kaczmarek trying to work some magic here. He just gets something on net, and Frenchie with the stop there, waves the glove in everybody's face, and boy, oh boy, the Canadians feel like punching him right now. Scott French, the Kamloops. They're still trying to question where he's from, but he was the first team all-drinking team for the DCTV USA Hockey League, honor which he has had for the last 15 or so years. Claremont for the Canadians shoots it wide, and Barker with the puck, he'll just slowly lift it up and out. Got to sense some kind of desperation here at the Canadians coming up. 2-0, they're losing, and 1 minute and 45 seconds to go. Shelton gets a stick gate there, comes to Barker. Barker will just clear it up and down the ice, and they wave the icing off. And it went all the way down the ice and scored on Smith. And holy smokes, Clay Barker fired it all the way down the ice, and he got the credit for the goal. All the way down the ice, bounces off Mike Smith, and into the net. And when it goes wrong, everything goes wrong for the Canadians. Holy smokes. Netminder Smith just took an eye off him for a minute and adds insult to injury for the Canadians, who will be out of first place at the end of the evening, unless the Blackhawks I think there's 3 teams that are hooked in second place, so 3-0 loss here. I might have to keep an eye on this. So, you know, you just never know what's going to happen. And there's one kid that won't stop. That's Craig Geet. Over the line. Nothing going on there, and it's getting quiet here. They're ready to count down. This is Amoni's coming out. They give him the Raz there. Oh, the Blackhawks give him the Raz. We got 10 seconds to go. All the way into corner. Refs call it up, and that is going to be the game here, folks. That is it. You're welcome. Thank you for being here. Detroit City TV game of the week. 3-0 is the final. Go to all the DCTV events coming up on the DCTV events page, and we hope to hear you from you later on. Tell all your friends. Come on down. Bring the family, the peanuts, the popcorn. Don't forget the beer. Tommy Morris, DCTV, out.
President of Saginaw Spirit, he was talking about how excited they are to have their team down there. Obviously Grand Rapids is going to play the Toronto Marlies there, and I know on December 31st there's 2 games that are going to be played. I'm still talking to Kenny to try to get into both games. I really hope I could do that. But then just everything that goes on with it. I know there's going to be a Little Caesars Day down there where a lot of the youth kids can go out and play. I know they're renting the ice. That's going to be available for corporations and for people to purchase. And I mean, talk about a great night. You know, you go down to Comerica Park and you know you have your skates and your hockey bag, and you lace them up and you go for a skate under the lights. I mean, it's just going to be a tremendous couple weeks down here, and then you know, hammering home up at the big house in Ann Arbor when Detroit, Toronto. We were, Friday night, we were just commenting on the atmosphere in a preseason game, how great it was and how passionate both the Toronto Maple Leafs fans were and the Detroit Red Wings fans were. You know, at the, you know, let's go Red Wings, and in between it would be the go Leafs go, and then they keep going back and forth. And you know, it's just going to be it's going to be something special. It's going to create a lot of memories for a lot of people. Not only the players that get to play in the games, the alumni games as well, but certainly for the guys that are going to play in the big house. And you know, it's just going to shatter records with the crowd and the expectations that are going to be in that game. And I know we're all looking forward to it. To play in the game and then certainly go up there the next day and watch the Winter Classic in Ann Arbor. It's going to be an outstanding event.
All right, at this time I'd like to thank Kenny, Ryan, Chris for coming out, and they do it all the time. For all the pro teams that come in here, I think you guys are the best. I'm a little partial, but you do a great job enlightening everybody here at the DSBA luncheon. You're the best. Thanks, yeah. Hey, don't forget, there's only about 500 tickets left for tomorrow, less than 500 tickets. So if you want to head to the game, make sure you get it out to the Joe Louis Arena box office. And again, Detroit Buffalo tomorrow, 8 o'clock start. So NBC Sports, nationally broadcast. So again, if you can make it, I'd like to have you out there. Again, thank you, and thank you for showing up today. Vicki, do you have any closing words, or are we done?
No, we
Okay.
fabulous.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
Luncheon, and I am with Lime Red Wing, and now the assistant to the assistant general manager, Mr. Chris Draper.
Yep.
So thanks for being here today,
Yeah,
Chris.
no problem. Yeah, it's I was here last year with Kenny and enjoyed myself. And anytime you get to sit up front and talk about the Detroit Red Wings and hockey, it's always fun to do. Thank you.
Hey, you know, this time of year, and again, being an ex-player for 20 years in the NHL, how is the transition for you going from the front office, from the ice to the front office, especially when, you know, you look in great shape? I'm sure you can still put the wheels on. How's the transition been for
So
you?
if you're asking me, do I miss it? The answer is absolutely. But you know what? Hey, listen, I had a great run. Very fortunate to play over 1,000 games for the Detroit Red Wings and obviously the 4 Stanley Cups. And then to be able to walk, right out of the rink and out of the NHL into the front office and work with Ken and work with Ryan is something I realize how fortunate I am. And just learning is what I'm doing. Learning, and Kenny just keeps talking about you gotta watch hockey. So I'm trying pretty well. I'll be at our game tomorrow night. Obviously watching Detroit Buffalo, and then from there I'll probably see games Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday as well. So pretty busy. Try to catch as much hockey as I can and try to gain as much knowledge as I can for not only our players but also players from other organizations, and try to chip in in the entry-level draft as well.
Now with the Red Wings bringing in a couple players, sub-organizations, again, long-time leader in Ottawa with Danny Alfredson, and then you got Stephen Weiss, who as a young player has been in the league for 10 years, a leader in Florida. You've been there when the Wings have brought in some other leaders. What can they expect for the current captains of the Wings, how to approach those players that have been in that leadership role and are coming into a new territory?
Yeah, well, Daniel Alfredson obviously have played with Henrik Zetterberg, Nicholas Kronwall in probably some Team Sweden's, playing in the Olympics, playing the World Championships, obviously very familiar with one another. That's kind of how the ball started getting rolling. Daniel Alfredson reached out to Henrik Zetterberg. He kind of tell me everything about the Detroit Red Wings, and as soon as he did that, he's like, this is I want to come here, and so that was a very big surprise, obviously, on free agency. I think everyone in the hockey world thought Alfredson was going to re-sign with the Senators, and we're just thrilled to have him. He's obviously a great hockey player, he's a great leader, and he's a great person. Those are the three things that you love adding to your hockey team. Stephen Weiss, same thing, played hockey here with Plymouth Whalers, very familiar with hockey in Michigan, and certainly the Detroit Red Wings. Just talking to him, the one thing they can't believe is, how hard these guys work on and off the ice. And, I don't think it's a fluke that the Detroit Red Wings are always there year in and year out, every year, because of the work ethic that these guys have. And it's a culture that, Kenny talked about it earlier. It's a culture that was started. Steve Yzerman was always one of the first guys at the rink, one of the hardest working guys on the ice and off the ice. Dominic Hasek, Chris Chelios, these guys, just continue, to get better and really just push the envelope. And that's why they play so long. That's why they are, Hall of Famers and some of the greatest players to play our game. So now these young guys have bought into that. Obviously Henrik Zetterberg, Pavel Datsyuk. You see those guys before the game, before practice they're working out, after game they're working out. So now the young guys, they have no choice. When those guys are on the bike and working out, they have no choice but to do the same thing. And that's what Darren Helm has done, and Justin Abdelkader has done, and our young defensemen, Danny DeKeyser, Brendan Smith, Jakob Kindle. That's why, that culture that, that we talk about, we're very proud of. And these guys just continue to do it, and they continue to do it. And I think it's a big reason why, we're expecting another big year out of this group.
Yeah, that work ethic, as you mentioned, is definitely, it could be contagious. And that's probably a lot of the success for the last 22 years for reaching the playoffs.
Yeah.
From your inception coming into the Wings also.
Yeah.
The new rules, quickly, a couple of them. What do you feel about the icing rule, and as far as for the helmets during the fights?
Yeah, well, the helmet and the fight one I never really had to worry about. But just like what Kenny's talking about, just the safety of the players. That, in the heat of the moment and the passion of the game, something's going to happen. But you just really want these guys to protect themselves. Obviously, we've seen, some players on our team. Patrick Eaves had a real tough time with a concussion. Obviously, everyone's well aware of what Sidney Crosby went through with all his concussion problem. So it's a big problem. You want to protect the players, and you certainly want to protect our star players. So, I think that's a good rule. The hybrid icing, I think it's going to be good. The one thing that it allows is for the faster guys, the skaters. I always loved a race to try to get to the other defenseman and annul an icing. You still have that, yet you can still keep the player safe. So it still adds to that. Obviously, if you're going back and that D-man has a couple steps on you, they're going to blow the whistle right there. You're not even going to get close to the boards, and that's a safety issue right there. Obviously, with Yanni Pitkinen, got hurt last year. He's going to miss all this season. Curtis Foster, the same thing when he was playing. He had a real bad injury as well. So anytime you get a chance to protect the players, but you still have that competitive edge, you're doing the right thing.
And quick and final, now with the pregame meal, what is it now?
Mine is more, for me, salad. I got to stay light.
Oh, still.
But for the players, they'll the same thing. They'll get a lot of protein in there. They'll get their pasta. They'll get their veggies, and the tough thing
No
is,
Burger King for you now or anything
I
beforehand.
gotta get ready for the Winter Classic.
There you go.
I gotta keep my competitive edge.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, listen, I appreciate you being here, Chris.
Appreciate it.
Best wishes in your endeavors
Thank
with the Red
you.
Wings front office, and looking forward to seeing you later. Hey, Chris Draper, friends, go check out Detroit Red Wings tomorrow, Buffalo. Coming up, season tickets still available. Signing off for Detroit City TV, Tommy Morris.
Thank you. All right.
Best wishes, man.
Thank you very much. Very nice to meet you.
No, it's good. How you doing? Tommy Morris here, Detroit City TV. Again, from Hockeytown Cafe, the Detroit Sports Broadcasters Association, annual Red Wing Luncheon, and I'm joined here by Mr. Ken Holland, the general manager for the Detroit Red Wings. Ken, another season. Opening tonight for the NHL. The Wings have it tomorrow. You acquired a couple veteran players in the offseason with Danny Alfredson, leaders, and again, it's Stephen Weiss with the Florida Panthers. What are your expectations for them in the locker room and in their roles this year?
Well, we're hoping that they bring a lot of different ingredients. First off, we need a little more scoring. We didn't score enough last year. We're hoping that they provide some secondary offense, along with maybe getting a little bit healthier in the development of some of our kids. And then Alfie's been a captain and Stephen Weiss was an assistant captain. So we're bringing in two players that in their respective teams they had leadership roles, and you're bringing in guys into your locker room that they're leaders and they know the responsibility of having a letter. And even though they might not have a letter here, they're certainly obviously going to help Pav and Z and Kroner. And I think also it was important that we kept Dan Cleary to have a group of people that when things are going bad or they're going good, make sure that it's a level, even keel. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint, and you need not only do you need some talent on the ice, but you need good leadership in the locker room, and we think that they're going to help us in both places.
Now, you touched upon building the farm system, the Grand Rapids Griffins. It's really come to fruition now. It's a very strong club, winning last year. You have a lot of great young talent there. How do you go, now that it's a horrible problem to have, I would imagine now, but how do you go about protecting those players when some of them may be ready to come up and fill some spots over the next couple of years? How do you go about trying to protect those players, keep them in the Wing system?
Well, one of the things we work out is the waiver wire, and obviously we made a decision yesterday where Gustav Nyquist can clear waivers. We sent him to Grand Rapids. In our mind, we've got an NHL player in the American Hockey League. When we have some injuries, we can call him up an NHL forward. Thomas Tatar and Joachim Anderson can't clear waivers, so they're on the Detroit Red Wings, and they're not going back to the American Hockey. Their days in the American Hockey League are done. So, I think it's important. You want depth. We want people pushing for jobs. We want our veteran players to know that there's people clipping at their heels. You want that internal competition. So it's taken us a while, but our scouts have done a tremendous job. We've tried, since 2005. We've been conservative. We haven't traded as many draft picks. Prior to 2005, I think we traded 8 first-round picks from 95 to 2005 to acquire guys like Shanahan and Paul Coffey and Dominic Hasek and Robert Lang and Matthew Schneider, Chris Chelios. We've been much more conservative because that's the league, and our scouts have had more picks, and they've done a good job. And we've got a lot of players in our organization, our system, that we think have a chance to be NHL players one day. But we want to get them to the NHL when we think they can take somebody's job. And they're only going to get there when they take somebody's job and not before.
How do you feel about the same season where you have the Winter Classic and, again, here festivities and player demands during that time, and then you have the Olympic break coming up? Would you prefer the rest for the players, or would you just rather have it maybe separated? What is your thought on that?
Well, first off, I think it's going to be a fabulous season. I mean, you just touched on some. Going to the Eastern Conference, having the Winter Classic, and the festivities downtown Detroit leading up to the Winter Classic. March 6th to honor Nick Lidstrom and his incredible career. Sochi Olympics, and I'm anticipating we're going to have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players that are going to play in the Olympics. And then obviously 4 games against Toronto and Boston and 3 Pittsburghs and 3 Rangers and 4 Montreal. So I think it's going to be a fabulous season. I think it's important that we're going to have depth. You know, we really have 17 NHL forwards. We got to pare it down to 14. Our decisions were a little easier this week because of the long-term injuries to Helm and to Eves, but ultimately we're going to have to make some decisions and get pared down. But in the early going, to get out of the gate, you know, even though we've got 2 injured, and we sent Nyquist to the minors, and we've got Eves and Helm on LTI, we feel we're going to address 12 NHL forwards for our game against Buffalo that are established NHL forwards, and we're not dipping into kids, and we're not sure what they're going to do. So they've earned their way to play in the National Hockey League. So we're deep up front. We think we're deep in goal with the development of Mrazek and Gustafsson. We're not quite as deep on defense. We've got 7 defensemen we like in Detroit. We have a lot of kids in Grand Rapids that we think are going to evolve and develop into NHL players. You know, but if we get some key injuries, they're going to be tested maybe a little sooner than we think. But we feel good about the potential of our team for this year, and certainly feel good about we've got some kids coming about the future beyond this year.
And in final, are you able to put the pads on or skate any longer? Do you get out on? Are you able? Is your time allow it?
Yeah, well, not very often. Actually, we in Traverse City during training camp, we had a celebrity alumni game, and Chris Osgood and I put on the pads, and we're on one team, and Jeff Blashill and Jim Bedard were another, and we had got, you know, Draper played, Chelios played, all our scouts. We made 2 teams, and we sold out the rink. There was 1,500 people, so you got the juices going one more night. But I certainly felt my age when the game was over. You know, I have a little interest in playing in the B game at the Winter Classic, but on the alumni game. But we'll see how it goes. Certainly, there might be some more people with bigger resumes than me, but it's always, you know what. As a player, brings you back to your childhood days. You know, putting the equipment on and you're talking in the locker room, and it just brings back incredible memories. And you go out there; it's a team sport. It's always fun to put the pads on. But you know, the job that I got, I'm in a rink most every night, but it's usually with a suit and a tie on and evaluating players and you know, trying to kind of plan the direction of the team.
And goalies, I tell you, got to be it's a physical position. It's very tough. You just don't stand there, boys and girls. It's the toughest position on the ice. You get terribly tired, I'm telling you. But, hey, we encourage you to try it.
Well, that's the new style. When I played, we did stand up. If they'd play like I did, there'd be more goals. The goalies today, since Patrick Waugh in the 90s, the goaltending position, I think, has evolved the most and had the biggest impact on the game. So certainly, you know, to your point, the goalies now are real athletes.
Hey, Ken, thanks for your time as always. I appreciate it. Hey, go check out the Wings again. Home opener coming up. Season tickets still available. General Manager Ken Holland, Tommy Morris, Detroit City TV. Thank you. Appreciate it, Ken. Thank you so much. Hey. Here we go. Yes, boys and girls, Tommy Morris here, Detroit City TV, live from Hockeytown Cafe, again, for the annual Detroit Sports Broadcasters Association Red Wing Luncheon. And joining me here is Mr. Ken Kal, the voice, color commentator of the Red Wings. 97.1 The Ticket. You can hear him all the time when the Wings are playing. Ken, thanks for being here again today and upcoming season. Some new additions for the Red Wings. What are you looking forward from Danny Alfredson coming over from Ottawa and Stephen Weiss from Florida in leadership roles and their role in general with the team? What are you looking for?
Well, first and foremost, I think both players will make the power play better. And I looked at Daniel Alfredson's career numbers in the playoffs and the postseason, and he's almost a point-per-game player. He's played a little over 100 games. He's got about 100 points. So I think over the last couple of years, the Red Wings lacked scoring in the playoffs, and that alone tells me that you know, the numbers should be up a little bit. Stephen Weiss, hard-working center iceman. I think he'll solidify that second line. He was skating with Alfredsson and Franzen for most of the preseason. And if that line really, I think, has a chance to become a really big line here in Detroit if they can stay healthy and do the things that they're capable of doing.
Yeah, and Stephen Weiss is a young leader, a 10-year veteran already, you know, as a young man in the NHL. So hopefully that'll happen. New rules coming into play a little bit. Some new touch-up icing. Or waving off the icing effect. What do they call it? The semi-icing rule?
Hybrid icing.
Hybrid icing, yeah. And also with the fighting with the players' helmets. Which do you like? Do you like both of them? What do you think about them in general?
Well, you know, I really applaud the fact that the National Hockey League is trying to protect its players, and that's one of the reasons why you have to have your helmet on. And again, I think if you don't have a helmet on and you fall or step on a stick that's on the ice or a glove and you fall and you hit your head, it could be serious. And the league really doesn't want that. On the other hand, if you're going to punch a guy, I mean, you're going to have some bashed knuckles, I guess, too. So you don't see a lot of fighting anymore in hockey. It's really a skilled game. Again, from time to time there are altercations. But I like the rule and the hybrid icing. They looked at it in the preseason. The league liked it. And again, I think anytime you have two players rushing to touch a puck and you only have, 10 feet behind the goal, there's not a lot of room to stop. And if you're going full speed, 100 miles an hour, and somebody just nudges you a little bit and knocks you off balance, well, you're going to get seriously hurt. So I do applaud the league for that, and I'm looking forward to it, and I think it'll be better and safer for the players.
Now, with early season predictions or maybe some surprises around the league, who are you looking forward to? Who would you consider, maybe besides the Wings, the teams to beat this year?
I think the Boston Bruins, who went to the Stanley Cup final last year, they still have basically their whole team intact. They made some moves in the offseason. I think they're going to be a strong team. But from top to bottom in the Atlantic Division, that's the division the Red Wings are in, I just think that on any given night, anybody can win. And I don't think you're going to see one team like we saw Chicago last year just run away with it. It's going to be a battle over 82 games, and fans are going to see some outstanding hockey in that division. Out in the West, I still like Chicago. I think you look at their 6 defensemen, and that's key to Stan Bowman's the general manager there. And when Scotty Bowman, his dad, was coaching Detroit, you look at our defensemen here in Detroit, I mean, it's the same. They play the same way. They're puck control. They can get that puck to the forwards, send them on their way. Their forwards up front are talented, so they're going to be strong. I think St. Louis will be strong in the West, and I like Los Angeles and Anaheim. I think they're going to be strong as well.
Oh, L.A. Well, that's a good call. They had a little rough stretch last year, but they are still Stanley Cup champs last couple of years. A couple of years ago, that's a pretty good call. Also, we also have the Winter Classic, and in the same season, the winter break. Do you feel that it's going to have, what kind of effect do you feel it may have on the players? You know, due to time demands, especially during the Winter Classic, it being in Detroit, and then a 2-week break for the Winter Olympics. How do you feel that may be affecting the player, or what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think back several years ago, I think when the Red Wings, they lost to Pittsburgh in these years run together, but I kind of remember the Red Wings losing in Game 7. The next year, the Wings started in Sweden, and then I think they had the Olympics that year as well, or it was right around that time, and it was really taxing on the Red Wings just because of the fact they had so many superstar players and so many players playing in the Olympics. It's not going to change this year. In fact, they're playing in Sochi in Russia, and that's quite a ways away. So, you know, by playoff time, there are going to be some tired hockey players, not only here in Detroit, but I think around the league as well. But on the other hand, with a 2.5-week break for the Olympics, I just think other players will be well rested, and they can pick up the slack if needed. Now, the Winter Classic that'll take place in Ann Arbor, I just can't wait for that. I mean, I really wanted to go to the Michigan hockey game when they played there, and I wasn't able to do it because of the Wings schedule, but I saw pictures, I've heard about it, and I just can't wait to get out there and see 115,000 fans just screaming and yelling with Maple Leaf jerseys on and Red Wing jerseys on, and it's just going to be a great day, New Year's Day.
Maple Leaf Nation?
Yeah, but we got a lot of Red Wings out there too, so it's going to be a great day, a lot of fun. And I hope it snows a little bit.
Oh, yeah, throw that mix into it.
Not a lot, but just a couple of flurries out there just to make it look like winter.
One thought on the with all the festivities and with the break also, again, with the Wings travel schedule, now they have to go off the West Coast, granted they make the playoffs. That has to probably save a little, rest them up a little bit, that they don't have to make those long trips any longer.
One of the keys, I think, in going to the East is when you have a day off between games, you can come back home and use that day as a practice day. When you play out in Anaheim and you, let's say between games 2 and 3, and you come home, that whole day's wasted. It's a travel day and you don't have time to practice. I think it's imperative when you have a young team like Detroit had against Chicago that you could come back home after one of those games and practice and hone your skills is a lot better. And not only that, sleeping in your own bed too. So. Yeah. I just think that the travel will be, the wear and tear on the players will be a lot better, and as a result, they should be healthier, and you won't see as many injuries.
So are you going to play in the media game for that? Are you going to put the skates on for that?
You know what? I'd like to play in it, but I think when they're scheduling it, I think we're playing or we're on the road. I can't remember what day it was, but I did look at it. But again, if I can make it, I'd really love to play.
We'll have to talk to Rob Mattina about maybe trying.
There you go.